Yo, I really struggle with living too far into the future. My mind is one of extrapolation, and I cannot help it. I try to meditate, I try to live slower, to appreciate the journey along the way, but sometimes I just slip into the pattern of just wanting things to happen now. I plan for the future, all these events, and I expect them to just occur right now. And I really struggle with it. It's so counterintuitive, but I've been journaling a lot about how I feel. And inadvertently, I realized that even the act of journaling can make me not even live in the present. Because that's like I'm so preoccupied with interpreting how it is I'm feeling that I'm not even just being. And it just confuses my head. Because we say that these activities are so grounding or whatnot, but it's like you have to get to a point of your cognition of just not noticing. This idea of resonance, which I've long thought of, it's this relationship with the world where you're just in this pure present moment. You're so present that you're not even noticing what it is that's happening around you. You're just like in this constant flow with it. And reaching that state, it's like you can only do that when you're not trying to reach that state. You can only reach it. It's almost like when you least expect it. To force a great creative act, to force a flow state, to force anything, it usually goes against you. When you try so hard to be nice, sometimes it's interpreted as you being like too much. And if you just kind of pulled back a little bit, it would be more receptive. When you try to be very organized, sometimes that's interpreted as being very controlling. You just have to pull back a little bit. Sometimes when, in my case, you try to live your best life, journaling, reflecting, being so deeply introspective, that it too just doesn't serve you anymore. Because when you're constantly in this state of deep reflection and whatnot, you're not living. You're not experiencing anymore. You are assessing how you feel constantly. And that is your state of mind. I'm getting attacked by mosquitoes right now. That probably helps me live in the moment more. Maybe I just gotta move faster. Or get out of this bush. But so this is quite peculiar. Because I went from this state of not reflecting, not really thinking at all, and just living, to one where I am doing it all the time. And I must say, it's been really good to be aware of what it is and how I am. But I think it can get exhausting. I think it almost doesn't always serve you. The perfect analog I had that just happened to me was my triathlon training. I've been training intensely for a triathlon. I'm trying to do a half Ironman, which is crazy because 6 years ago I barely even ran. But in this process, it kind of became an all-encompassing, all-absorbing mindset. I couldn't break away from it. When my brother came to visit me, I twinged at the idea of not working out for one day. And I realized that the more I pushed myself into that life, the less it let me live a different one. Because all my time was spent living for triathlon. I couldn't live for socializing with my friends. I couldn't live for just, I guess, just a different world. And now I notice that a little bit in terms of reflection. When you reflect so much, when you exist in this like very high altitude, like mental abstract space, even if I'm doing it right now when I'm speaking, you can't really exist simultaneously in the one closer to the ground. Like, I've noticed what it is that I actually like and appreciate in the given moments. I can seldom define it anymore. I've like absolved myself of entertainment when it comes to just like Instagram reels or watching YouTube videos and whatnot. And when I'm going for walks, I just think. I don't even like listen to music and podcasts, and I think it helped me out so much to not do those things. But then I seldom, I can't define what it is that I like anymore. So like, but I'm so aware of what it is and how I feel. It's a peculiar paradox. So I almost want to like walk around with a Rubik's Cube or some entertainment that I can just enjoy on the spot to entertain my brain. Or I guess I can maybe better bring along a book that's very entertaining with me. So again, I don't want to subscribe to the social media stuff, but then I don't always want to just be thinking. I want to be entertained, but I want to be entertained in a healthy manner. So maybe I do need to just walk around with entertainment that's like a better form, I guess. It's just so weird. These like dualities of sorts. I've noticed there's so many dualities. Up and down, left and right. Like, I don't know, political dualities, Democratic, Republican, left. Like, we always have dualities. It's like our brains are obsessed with thinking in terms of dualities. It's always like a versus. And even in this discussion, I talked about the dualities. But like, is there something now? Is there a triality? Is there a different axis of all this? Like, I find it very interesting because like people talk about the mind, body, and the spirit. That's like a triality. Those don't come up often in our world. And when you live in a society where you only have your mind and body that you're focusing on, for instance, your brain health and your reflecting, and then your physical health, that's the space that you're living in. It's the tension between those two worlds. And if you never appreciate the spiritual side, then it kind of plucks off and doesn't exist anymore. Like maybe what I feel and how I'm not living, that I'm rushing the future is because I'm not engaging with this spiritual side as much as I should, per se. Like, what does that even look like? I'll have to somehow engage with it to rebalance and redistribute it, because maybe once I can engage with it, I don't feel like I'm in a rush all the time, because the life is happening as it happens. Because my energy can flow into the spiritual side. I don't know. This is a very open discussion, by the way. Like, I am just thinking out loud entirely. It's very confusing to me. And it's interesting as well. When I look back and reflect, I can chart out different moments where my brain, body, and spirit had completely different distributions of where the life was lived. You know, in the total core of my bachelor's for engineering, it was pure mental, pure mind. I didn't care about my physical. I didn't care about the spiritual. It just didn't exist. And everything was for the mind. And even then, it was so far pushed that it actually probably became a detractor for the mind. It's like, yeah, I was gaining knowledge, but at what cost? My mental health, because I was staying up to 2 a.m. And then this period of my life has become dominated by the physical world. Past 2 years, and I'm doing marathon training, triathlon training, and I had taken some, but I am thinking a lot still. The mental's there and I'm engaged, but maybe it's this progression I'm on. Maybe it's that there never is a full distribution, like a perfect distribution, and it is a constant arrival that you need to go through. So before I was only working the mental, and now I realize that the physical is there, and maybe like the next stage and how I'm feeling lost a little bit at times because the spirit is lacking. Maybe I'm still confused over my own beliefs, because inherently I think I'm agnostic. Like, I believe that there could be something, but I don't feel like there's much proof until it shows itself to me. So it can go either or, and because I'm so deeply anchored in science that sometimes it's hard to expand and to appreciate something, some thoughts that are contradictory. But maybe this feeling that I'm on is also just a function of concluding a major milestone in my life, my thesis, and I'm going to be entering the next 6 months of my life with just complete unstructuredness. I will be taking a break from school and research and work, and just pursuing my own interests. And maybe this is what I feel, because growing up, I noticed that the worst times of my life was summer vacation, because I cling on to structure, and I've been getting better at it. But I think maybe I finally feel it brewing again. This uncertainty where it's so exciting that I can do anything, but it's simultaneously frightening. The playground is mine, but it's like only mine. That's a scary thought. But I don't know why I'm worried, because I have a plan of what I will do after. Or I don't know why I'm so rushed. But maybe it's because I feel like there has to be a plan. Why does there have to be a plan all the time? Why can't it just be what it is and let time march on? Like, I find it so hard for me right now to stay in bed and sleep in, because the moment I wake up, I'm not thinking about the coziness of the covers on my skin. My brain's already leaping into like action mode for the day. So maybe I'm not really living for the moment as much as I think I am. Maybe I do have to meditate with a higher quality of effort behind it. To pay attention to the here and the now, and absolve my worries of the future. And just kind of sit with the idea that the future will come, but you just have to wait. Do not rush the future, for if you rush the future, you're rushing your life. It's easier said than done to live with, but I think it's an important reminder. And it's funny because on some days it's easier than others, but that's okay too. These verbal reflections have been very helpful for me, actually. A lot more dynamically spoken than a journal itself. I think I can dream up a more clear world when I'm walking and talking, just like how I can pay more attention to my friends when I'm walking and talking on the phone. I tend to, whenever I answer the call, just pace around the house. But the future. It's the future. Oh yeah. I'm Matthew. Peace and love. Have a good day.